This video covers data models and its types. Let's see what is data model. Data model can be defined as an integrated collection of concepts for describing and manipulating data, relationships between data, constraints on the data in an organization. What this indicates? This indicates that this model provides logical design and structure of a database. Apart from that, it also tells how data will be stored, how this can be accessed, and how this is updated in a database management system. Then what is database? Database is nothing but collection of interrelated data concerned to a particular subject or a topic. Data models are also used to show how data is stored, connected, that is relationships, accessed and updated in DBMS. Then what is logical design? Logical design is nothing but arranging data into a series of logical relationships, which we just call here entities and attributes. Then what are entities and attributes? An entity is nothing but it can be any object, a place, a person, concept, activity. It's an object which can have instances or occurrences. Each instance should be capable of identifying it uniquely. In the same way, each entity has certain properties or attributes which are associated with it. Now let's see attributes. Attributes are the data elements which describe an entity. For example, suppose if customer is an entity, then attributes will be name, address, status. If I just take here book is an entity, then attributes will be book number, title of the book, author, price will be the attributes. If order is an entity, then order number, date, order placed by will be the attributes. Coming to the relationship, then what is relationship? Relationship is an association between entities. In simple words, we can just call here relationship is a connection between two tables which contain data. One column in each table is the basis for the relationship. Relationship and its types we will be seeing in the next video. Next is regarding about data constraints. Then what is this constraints here? Constraints are nothing but rules which are enforced on data columns of a table. Then what are data columns? Data columns are nothing but column headings, or even we can just call here a field, or even we just call here the attribute also. These are used to limit the type of data that can go into a table. That is nothing but some type of restrictions will be applied on the data when data is typed. This will ensure that the accuracy and reliability of the data in the database. Constraints can be applied either on column level or it can be on table level also. Constraints provides certain set of rules to ensure data integrity. That is nothing but it will provide certain conditions on the data. I would like to provide some examples for the constraints here. Think that we have to enter the employee age. When we enter employee age, suppose if I just enter negative numbers, -40 or -35 or -50, or the least number, suppose if I just enter the age 10 or 5, or suppose if I just enter the age above 100, that is 120 age or 150, that is meaningless, which is invalid. we have to enter a proper, a correct, a valid age, right? We can enter the age 25, 30, 40 positive numbers. And in the same way, we have to provide certain restriction. What has to be the minimum age in an organization or in a company, and what will be the maximum. This type of constraints are to be provided. In the same way, what is the purpose of data model? The main purpose of data model is to have representation of data and to make data understandable. Before I just go to the next slide, I would like to tell in simple words that data model gives importance to what data is needed and how data should be organized instead of what operations need to be performed on data. The next is regarding about categories of data models. In this categories, there are three different categories are available. Object-based data models. The second one is of physical data models, and the last one is based on record-based data models. Coming to the object-based data models, the focus is on how data is represented and later how data is divided into multiple entities, and each of these entities will be having certain type of characteristics. Apart from that, object-based data models are also used to describe data and its relationship. Not only this one, various type of data integrity constraints can also be specified in this particular model. Then some of the object-based data models are entity relationship data model. This we will be seeing in one of the video. Then object-oriented data model, semantic data model, and functional data model. The second one is physical data models. These are used to have higher level description of the storage structure of a particular database and their access mechanism. I can just call here physical data model provides the model which will be built in the database. Apart from that, the physical database model will also provide the complete details, or it will display the table structure including the column name, column data type, constraints which are imposed on the column, primary key, foreign key, and relationships between tables. This tells that physical data model will be different for different RDBMS, that is Relational Database Management System. The primary key constraint is used to identify unique records in a table. This key must contain unique values and it cannot contain any null values. In a table, on only one column, we can impose a primary key. This indicates that a table can have only one primary key. Suppose if I just take here a student database and a roll number is a column or a roll number is an attribute or field or a column heading, on that particular column, we can impose the primary key. Then what happens here? Roll number column will be having unique number. Apart from that, this column cannot be null. This indicates that each student will be having a unique roll number, and in the same way, this particular column will not remain empty. On other hand, foreign key will create a relationship between two tables. That is nothing but a foreign key is one that is used to link two tables together via the primary key. The same way, foreign key is a field in one table that refers to primary key in another table. The table containing the foreign key we call here child table, and the table containing the a primary key that we call here the parent table. In parent table, on which column we impose primary key, the same column will be taken in the child table. In the child table, on that column we impose the foreign key. The last one is record-based data models. In case of record-based data models are used to specify the overall logical structure of database. Apart from that, these data models are based on application and user levels of data. When the database is organized in some fixed format of records of several than the model, then this is known as record-based data model. It has fixed number of fields or column headings or attributes in each record type, and each field is of fixed length. In record-based data models, there are three main types are available. The first one is hierarchical model, the second one is of network model, and the last one is of relational data model. And most widely used record-based logical model is relational data model. Other two are not widely used. Let's see the first one, hierarchical database model. In this model was implemented by IBM and North American Rockwell in year 1965. This data model is in the form of tree-like structure, and data is stored in the form of records and which are connected to one another via these links, right? A record is nothing but collection of fields, and each field will be containing only one value. Let's see here, data is stored in the form of tree structure. I think so when we see this particular structure, it is in the form of tree structure where customer record is the root, and down once we come to the next level, we can see here customer, that is account number, name of the customer, address of the customer, balance, then transaction date. Coming to the name, again we have the next level where we have first name, last name, address, area, city, transaction date, again we have day, month and year. In this model, each tree will be containing one single root record, and later they will be having one or more subordinate records. In this model, data items we just call here records, and relationship among the data items are seen in the form of these links between the records. The links can be seen as pointers stored in the records, and collection of all these data items will make like a tree-like structure. For example, in a family database, each father is the owner of the child in the family, but no child will have or can have more than one father. If there is only one child, we can have one-to-one relationship. In case of relationship, there are four different types are available. That is one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one and many-to-many. This relationship we will be seeing in the next video. If there is more than one child, then we can have one-to-many relationship. In case of this particular model, we cannot have the relationship that is many-to-one or many-to-many relationship. In this model, the owning entity we just call here the root, or even root record or root node also we can just call here. Now let's see the advantages of this model. The first one is data can be retrieved very easily due to the presence of links between the records or between the table structures. Coming to the second one, that is nothing but we just call here referential integrity is maintained in this model. That is nothing but any changes which are made in parent table are automatically updated in the child table. This model supports for sharing of data. Not only this one, this model is very simple because of parent-child relationship. Database security is also enforced here, and this will support only for two different types of relationship, that is one-to-one and one-to-many relationship. Now let's see the disadvantages of this particular model. This model will not support for many-to-many relationship. Apart from that, complex relationships are not supported. And here we have data redundancy, that is nothing but repetition of data we have. When we have repetition of data, then we will be having inaccurate information. Apart from that, if the parent and child table are unrelated, then adding a new entry in the child table will be difficult because additional entry must be added in the parent table also. Coming to the second one, that is network database model. This was first implemented by the company Honeywell during the year 1964 and 65. In this model, apart from supporting one-to-one and one-to-many, this model also supports for many-to-one and many-to-many relationship. Let's consider a database of people who are holding accounts in banks. Any bank can have number of account holders, but each account holder can also have accounts in number of banks. This indicates that bank can have number of account holders. In the same way, the customer also or the account holder also can have many accounts in many different banks. This we just call here many-to-many relationship. This kind of data structure we call here network structure. However, any network structure can be broken up into two or more hierarchical structures with a common duplicating entity. Therefore, we could have a hierarchical structure with a common duplicating entity and hierarchy established with bank A as a root and another hierarchy with bank B as a root and so on. So on indicates here it can be bank C or bank D or bank E and so on. Of course, each of these hierarchies would have some amount of duplication. For example, just take here creditor A, or it can be a customer A, or it can be a user A who has accounts with both the banks, that is A and B, that is bank A and bank B, will figure in both the hierarchies. The duplication, however, simplifies the database itself. In case of network model, data is represented in the form of collection of records. We can see one side we have the customer information like customer name, address of the customer, and that is nothing but area, and later we have the city. On the other side data we can see here customer account number in the respective bank and the balance amount in the respective account number and how these data is connected or related, that is done via the links. And we can see here the relationship one to one also we have and even we have one to many also. Now let's see the advantages of network model. Network model is very simple and easy to design when compared with hierarchical model. Coming to the second one, this will support for all types of relationship. This will support for one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one and as well as many-to-many relationship. The next one is regarding what? Data access. Data access is easier and flexible when compared with hierarchical model, that is hierarchical data model. The next is regarding about this particular network model ensures data integrity. Then what is data integrity? Data integrity is nothing but this will check for accuracy and consistency of data which is stored in the database. Coming to the disadvantages of network model, in case of network model, for navigating data access mechanism makes system implementation in network model very complex. Hence, network database model cannot be used to create any user-friendly database management system. Coming to the second point will tell regarding about absence of structural independence. This tells that if changes are to be done for the structure of database, then even application programs needs to be modified before we go for accessing the data which is stored in the database. And the last one is relational database model. In case of relational database model, relations are saved in the form of tables. The table consists of rows and columns, where rows represents records and columns represents the attributes. And this particular model was first described in year 1969 by the computer scientist Dr. E.F. Cott. This indicates that in relational model, data is organized in two-dimensional tables, which we call here relations. In case of database terminology, tables are called relations. In relational database management system, data is represented in the form of set of relations, or even we can just call here set of tables also. Then relational databases are powerful. Simultaneously, the same database can be seen in different ways. Then in case of this model, single database can be spread across several tables. The relational model will be using tables to organize the data elements. Before I just proceed with the next slide, I would like to tell the formal relational terms in case of database management system. For table, the formal relational term will be relation. And for row and record, the terminology in case of database will be tuple, that is T-U-P-L-E. And for number of rows, the relational term will be cardinality. And for column and field, we call here the relational term will be attribute. Number of columns, the relational term will be degree. And for unique identifier, we will be using here primary key. Here we can see there are four different tables are available, that is department, professors, courses and students, and we can see how these tables are linked to each other, that is how the tables are related to each other. A relation appears in the form of two-dimensional table, that is in the form of rows and then the columns. The RDBMS organizes these data in the form of set of relations or the tables. This already we have seen in the previous slide, right, where the four tables are linked, right. This does not mean that data is stored in the form of tables, but physical storage of data is totally independent when we go for logical representation. Let's take the example here. In a database, we have a book table. Each row in the table represents a different book. A relation in an RDBMS has some following features. The first one is of name. Each relation, that is each table in a relational database, should have a name that is unique among other relations. This indicates that each table in a relational database should contain unique name. Means this indicates that two relations cannot have the same name. The next one is of attributes. This indicates that each column or each field or each column heading in a relation or in a table, that one we call here the attribute. The attributes are the column headings in the table. Then tuples. Each row in a relation, each row in a table, that one we call here the tuple. The tuple defines the collection of attribute values. Then the total number of rows, that is number of rows, number of records in a relation in a table, we call here cardinality of relation. This tells that cardinality of relation changes when number of tuples are added or deleted. That is nothing but when number of records or rows are added in a table or in a relation. In that case, the cardinality of a table or a relation will be changed, and later it makes the database dynamic. Now let's see the advantages of relational database model. In that, the first one is structural independence. Then what is structural independence? This tells that relational model does not depend on navigational data access system. This tells that if we have to make some changes in the database structure, in that case this will not affect the data access from the particular relation or the table. Coming to the second one is tells regarding about in case of relational database model is very simpler when compared with other two database models. Then the third one is regarding about design structure, that is database design, maintenance of database, or regarding about implementation or usage is much easier when compared with other two models. The last advantage is ad hoc query capability. Due to the presence of very powerful, flexible and easy to use query capability, that is nothing but SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. This is one of the main reasons for the immense popularity of relational database model. SQL is one of the fourth generation language, and this fourth generation language allows the user to specify what must be done without specifying how it has to be done. With the use of SQL, it will allow users where users can specify what information they want from the particular database or maybe from the relation or maybe from the table, and leave the details of how to get the information to the database. Means they have to specify what information is required. It's not required that how to get that information from the database. Later, the relational database will perform the task of translating the user queries, which are written in the form of SQL statements, into some technical code which are required, which is required to retrieve or fetch the requested information to the user. Now let's see the disadvantages of relational database model. The first one is regarding about the hardware overheads. And this will tell that the relational database system needs more powerful hardware computers and data storage devices. Then what happens? The powerful machines can run smoothly. Coming to the second point will tell regarding what ease of design can lead to bad design. What this means? This means that when database grows, the poorly designed databases will slow down the computer system. When it will slow down the computer system, and this will result in data corruption, or even it can be performance degradation. This completes the data models. Thank you. Have a nice day.